Are there any plans to further develop the Arsenal brand both in the UK and abroad?
There are. For a long time, we didn't tour internationally. But we've begun to do that in recent years, primarily to Asia. We just announced that we're going to be playing a game in New York this summer. So we are now taking the first team out to our fans. We have millions of fans all around the world. But I think the more innovative way that we're reaching fans isn't just by taking the first team there, because if you do that, you're going to be perhaps in a particular country once every 3 or 4 years at most, and there are many countries you'll never get to. So the question is, how can you engage with your fans every day outside of just the first team coming or just the Premier League broadcasts on television? And I think the answer there is this fantastic opportunity we have in the digital age, which is to connect with fans globally, but also to engage with them personally. And that's something we're working on very strongly at Arsenal. We have, for example, a community of over 3 million fans now in China, an online community in China. And we direct specific content to them in Chinese, even with our players speaking Chinese, which is culturally correct for China, but it's all about Arsenal and Arsenal's values. And that's proving to be a really, really strong driver of interest and engagement. And you can connect that with the first team as well. You know, we had a fantastic story when we were in Vietnam last summer, where we were driving in the team bus through the streets of Vietnam, and everywhere we went, there were literally thousands of people on motorbikes, and some of them running along the side of the bus. But it was hot. And there was this one guy who just kept going. And he ran into 3 lampposts and a tree. He was knocked to the ground. He kept getting back up, and he kept up with the bus for about 20 minutes, which is unbelievable in the heat of the day. And finally, the players led him onto the bus, and they took pictures with him. And that became a viral phenomenon that people called Running Man, that people were watching all around the world. Millions and millions of people watched that. And this young kid, who was a young Vietnamese kid, big Arsenal fan, became overnight a celebrity in Vietnam, and we brought him over for our opening game this year. And what that tells you is a couple of different things. One, we've got fans around the world who are passionately engaged with what Arsenal represents for them. Two, that's a message that we can now deliver around the world in a common language, tailored to specific cultures, digitally. And three, it can actually become something physical, because in the end, that young kid stood in our team's starting lineup in our match in Vietnam and came to London. We got him a passport, we flew him to London and came, met with the players before the game in the dressing room, came out in the team lineup at Emirates Cup, ran a couple of times around the pitch. So we can connect it actually very directly as well with what we do here in London. So it's a fantastic opportunity.
Yeah.